everyone knows what a roguelike game is and has probably played one at one point or another in their lives. Think games like, Risk of Rain 2, Binding of Isaac, Hades, fucking Crab Champions even, games like that. Same with rhythm games, you've probably played Geometry Dash, Beat Saber, Osu, God forbid. And even if you haven't played either, then here's to hoping you at least know what the game genres are. Now, I know it doesn't make sense for me to just randomly compare these two things, but just give me a second, I'm getting there. And sit down and listen up, because Professor Simary is here to teach you about what a game that decided to combine these two mechanics is like. Now, if you saw the thumbnail and title, you'll already know the game I'm covering today, Ratatan. Now, I know I mentioned above both roguelikes and rhythm games, and if you're able to infer anything in the slightest, you can probably figure out where this is going, but for those of you that didn't take advanced English classes, I'm going to explain how the game works. Now, I'm going to start on the rhythm side of the game first, as that's the main mechanic and way the game plays. I'm also going to use a bit of music theory, in heavy quotes, to explain this, as that's the best way for me to get things across. So if you're like me and you've played an instrument or just done music in general, you'll know what 4/4 time is. And for those not in the loop, it literally just means there's 4 beats in a measure, and each beat represents a quarter of the measure. So 4 notes in one measure add up to be one whole note, and that whole note makes the measure. So with that out of the way, we can actually move on to the mechanics. And the game presents you with a measure with 3 beats in it. You'll have to press keys on time with. Timing is a little lenient, so you don't have to worry too hard about being perfect. The game also gives you 3 different keys to press on those beats to perform different actions. Default keys for me were J, K, and L, because I was using keyboard. You have to time the button presses for each of the keys on beat to do whatever the action is combined to be. Like pressing J 3 times rounds up all your little guys, but instead pressing J on the first and third beat makes all your little buddies and you jump into the air. The K and L keys are your attacks, with K giving you a basic attack for 3 presses and shields for the first and third beat. L on all 3 presses does a rush attack, and the first and third beat L do a second version of the rush attack. Sadly, there are only 6 key combinations, with none of them mixing keys. And this seems like it would make the game a little boring, but I'll touch on why that's not entirely the case later. But the, lack of combinations lets you master the few that are available to you so that, you can use them for each encounter you come across. That was that time in the video where I ask you to subscribe, because it really genuinely helps me. I'm just shy of 200 subscribers as of recording this right now, but I'm hoping to get to 1,000 by the end of the summer, end of August type of deal. And if I do, then I can actually start monetizing my channel so I can start making money off of this. And if I start doing that, then I can start making higher quality and probably more videos, because I'll have more time to devote to this, because I'd be making income, blah, 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 bunch of bullshit. But just subscribe, like, engage, share, comment. I read all the comments. I like doing that. I have a good time doing it. But, yep, thanks. Back to the video. If you couldn't tell yet, the combat is directly tied to the key combos, which make it simple but also hard because of the timings needed. The timing that makes it interesting is that while all of your actions are performed at a set pace, almost none of the enemies are synced up with you. So this has been simultaneously fun to play around, but also the worst thing ever, because sometimes it just feels like you're getting bent over and getting a whole trombone shoved up your ass. The reason I'm not dealing with enemies acting freely while you're stuck on beat is because when fighting, you kind of just have to stand there and take it, and let your little guys take it as well, which normally I like, but not this time around. There have been instances on both sides where the enemies acting off benefited me and hurt me, but the negative instances definitely stuck out more, as they felt more frequent and, just unfair to deal with. But I'm going to try not to be too negative about that, as it's honestly probably me just sucking copious amounts of ass. Alright, now I can actually talk about the roguelike aspect of the game. So the roguelike is set up kind of like a deck builder in terms of making your builds, and I know this is only the demo, but I feel this is a bit where the game falls short. Unlike other roguelikes where you get items while you're going through the floor, map, level, what have you, this game only gives you items at the end of stages, and because of this, it doesn't feel like you can really get any sort of build going, as there just aren't enough items for anything to really come together. And I've only had one build take me to the World 2 boss, probably because I just got the items that actually synergize with each other. The reason the lack of items is a problem is because the game has you rely on them more, because you can only do so much, without them. Comparatively, in a game like Risk of Rain 2, even if you get items that don't work together, the game's still got a good skill ceiling, so that even with a shit build or just no build at all, you can pretty much make it all the way to the final boss. And that kind of thing just doesn't seem to be present in Ratatan. How combat works is something probably akin to Pikmin, I haven't played, but where you send out your little guys to do the killing for you. The different characters you play as seem to determine which group of goons you control, and there actually is a difference between the little guys other than cosmetic, which is what weapons they use. And the main difference between the weapons lies less in the stats and more in the rush attacks, as those change depending on the weapon type. Of course, something like a sword and shield is going to have more defense than just, I don't know, a regular ass spear, just how the game works. But I've mostly played the same character the whole time because I, 1, didn't know that changing characters changed the goons, and 2, they had a trombone. I played trombone, so basically given and required that I had to play them. But despite the couple gripes I had with the game, I still think it's worth a try for the fact alone that it's a rhythm game roguelike. Like, some seriously cool stuff. But if you don't want to try the game because it doesn't interest you or something, go check out my other demo review videos. Maybe you'll find something there you like. But that's the end of the video, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and I hope to see you again real soon.